everyone. It's me, Joe Kalmar. Today I am here to talk about a little trip that I was fortunate to take part in this past month. With a small team from MSU, as well as several other participating colleges, I took a plane to Silicon Valley to learn all about accessibility. The amazing part about this was that during this, I was able to learn from and collaborate with leading professionals from the tech industry. Companies such as Microsoft, Google, Oath, Adobe, and Facebook all showed out for the cause and made for an incredible experience unlike anything I've ever been a part of. This trip was managed by a group known as Teach Access. Teach Access is a group created for the purpose of solving the issue of training designers, engineers, and researchers to think with accessibility in mind. Throughout my journey, I learned many valuable lessons about accessibility and gain an insight into the realm of accessibility in today's tech industry. During this journey, I also created a few things of my own, such as this closed caption montage video and this accessibility-inspired card game. Links to both projects are featured in the description below. Without further ado, here is my portfolio for the trip. Hey Kate and Phil, welcome to Joe's Daily Diary for the Study Away trip, day 1. Today was pretty interesting. I thought it was awesome to get to visit all the different places all throughout San Francisco. It was a long day, it was a tiring day, but probably my favorite thing was just the large amount of things that I was allowed to see. It was action-packed, but I think we really made use of the time that we had. There really wasn't anything else on the list of things to do that I felt like I missed out on. Maybe in the future, I'd like to go to Alcatraz or something like that, but for the most part, I hit everything on my list. So those were probably the highlights of my day, was the fact that I was able to explore so much in such little time. Probably my favorite thing specifically was maybe the Fisherman's Wharf. I thought that was a pretty cool experience. Or perhaps the Golden Gate Park. I thought that was really, really cool and very expansive, so there was a lot to see there. And I have a lot of videos, so that was really, really cool. I really don't have a downside to my day. My legs hurt the next morning, but other than that, it was pretty solid. In terms of knowledge, I learned about how big San Francisco was, because I've been to Boston, I've been to Chicago, I've been to Detroit, and there's definitely, I don't know that those cities are much bigger. They might be, I don't actually know, but the thing about San Francisco is it's out of those cities the one that seems to have the most elevation changes. So you definitely feel the distance a lot more than any others. In terms of learning more, I think really the only thing that I'd like to learn more from day 1 is what it would really be like to live out here. I think it's probably a very different experience living in the Stanford guest house than it is to actually live out here. And so that would be something that I would like to explore, is actually either, getting an apartment or stay in someone's house for a little bit and just kind of get a better idea. I think that would be an interesting experience, staying in like an incubator or something for a short period of time just to get kind of more of that specifically Silicon Valley lifestyle. I think that would be something that would really enrich my learning. So that concludes my daily log for day 1, and I will see you guys for the rest of them. Thanks. Hey, Kate and Phil. Welcome to day 2 of Joe's daily journal for the California Study Away. Today was a great start to the week of accessibility. I thought there was a lot of very, very interesting things that happened today, but my favorite part was probably the um, more active look at the different products, whether it was the live action demo with all the different various oath applications on the iPhone, or whether it was the Microsoft products that are soon to be released. I thought being able to learn about the applications that are currently available or on the way was probably the most interesting thing to me, because innovation is definitely the biggest thing that brought me into this major in general. In terms of my least favorite part of the day, I would probably just say that you guys were right in saying that it's going to be long days. A lot of people have been saying that, oh, it ends at 6 o'clock. It's not that bad, but it's definitely an action-packed day, and I think that we need to have more coffee available to keep people focused, because I think genuinely everyone really wants to hear everything, but it can be very draining when there's really not a lot of breaks in between everything. I understand why that's the case. In terms of knowledge that I gained today, I learned a whole lot about the different regulations and the different things involved with all the various sections of accessibility, specifically on the regulation side. I was aware of a lot of the things. I had read some of them, and I had used a checker to make sure that my website was up to standards in the WRA 210 class, but the full expanse of it, I hadn't realized how much there really was. I didn't realize that there were multiple different types of regulations with the NVDA and ARIA and all of that. And going forward with that, in terms of stuff that I want to learn more about, that's definitely some of it. I thought it was really interesting to hear Amy talk about how she herself, even working with it on a very frequent basis, she said that she herself hadn't even read all of it. And I thought that it was really cool that she was showing off the parts that she uses most frequently, those being the best use practices, and how her unique style of learning looking at those things in order to be able to learn more about how she should be designing in a way that meets the needs of everyone. So that just about sums up day 2 of the trip. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. I'm really, really excited. So thank you for watching day 2, and I will see you guys for the rest of the daily journals. See you later. Oh, hey Kate and Phil. I didn't see you guys there with all this swag. Welcome to day 3 of the daily study away accessibility trip to San Francisco with Joe. Today was a pretty awesome day. All jokes aside, today was a really, really awesome day. Google is definitely my favorite of the companies that we're coming to visit. And the reality was even better than my expectations. Just the sheer amount of things that we got to see today and hear about and look at the design processes and all of that was just incredible. And being on the campus was just unreal. It's one of the companies that you obviously in the tech industry, like,
see a lot of pictures of online, and to be able to see that in person was, again, just unreal. The only thing that I thought could have been better today was, to spend more time on, honestly, get a bigger tour or something like that, because everything was great. And I understand, you can't cover everything. Like they said, Google has almost 1,000 products, so it's just way too much to cover in one day. But in terms of learning today, my favorite thing was definitely the YouTube portion. I'm a huge YouTube watcher, and I like to make videos, so YouTube is definitely one of my favorite Google products that they have out there. So to be able to see the accessibility side of things regarding YouTube was awesome, and the humor involved in all of the different people. I thought it was great that even though tech is serious and people are passionate about it, it's great to be able to bring humor into stuff and make everything a lot more entertaining. Now, I didn't feel like anything was very. Everything was super entertaining. Nothing was dry today. It was just spot on. Everything that I wanted it to be. And then in terms of learning more, I would say I would like to see the future of what they have planned with accessibility in YouTube and video in general, because I think that Google does lead a lot when it comes to online video and how to best handle that and best practices. I mean, especially with their closed captioning services. I mean, being, in my opinion, the best out there. So that just about sums up my feelings about today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Hey, Kate and Phil. It's Joe. Welcome to day 4 of my daily journal for the MSU's Teach Access Study Away trip. Today was pretty awesome. I was very pleasantly surprised with Oath. Being primarily a Google owner, or a Google user, I didn't realize how much Yahoo actually did with the internet, or Oath rather. The products that they manage with TechCrunch and Huffington Post and Yahoo Finance and all of their proprietaries, it was definitely a different experience than that of something like Google because of their model being more based around owning different businesses rather than owning different products per se. But that made it a lot more interesting, and I think many people in the group were pleasantly surprised. My favorite thing that we learned about was definitely the more media based things. That was one of their much more presented topics throughout the day, and I think for a very good reason. They take a different approach to Google, and I thought that was really interesting because they're very quality driven, and I appreciate that because it's very clear that they really care about what they're producing for their users in a different way from Google. But I think that they both have their benefits and their drawbacks, and Yahoo provides a different type of content, so it works for them. In terms of what I would like to learn more about, I definitely am highly interested in media accessibility in the realm of movies and online media and stuff like that. So going forward, I would like to be able to explore especially the captioning technologies, because that's something that I find highly interesting. So Maybe get a job at TechCrunch in the future. I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. Hey there, Kate and Phil. Welcome to day 5 of Joe's daily journal for the MSU Teach Access Study Away. Today was pretty sweet. I got to visit Adobe, which is one of my favorite companies and one of the products that I use probably the most out of the groups that we went to go see. I mean, it's hard to compete with Google and Microsoft, because their products are something that I definitely use every day, but Adobe makes products that allow people to create, so that makes them pretty special to me. My only regret with today was that there could have been more. I really enjoyed what we talked about. I really enjoyed the presentations with Microsoft and Intuit. It was nice to see Rob and the Microsoft team. But I would have liked to see someone from the Creative Cloud come and talk more about some sort of the accessibility efforts going on in the Creative Cloud sector, because those are products that I think most of the students are probably familiar with. In terms of learning, it was great to, I thought that the Intuit portion of the day was pretty interesting to go through some of the design practices. And it was definitely something that gave me a lot of inspiration for the project that we'll be putting on Friday. So in terms of learning more, I would definitely like to, again, learn more about the accessibility efforts going on in the Creative Cloud sector. So, but anyway, that's my journal for the day. I gotta go, but thanks guys. I will see you in the next one. Hey there, Kate and Phil. Welcome to my final log for the Study Away Teach Access Accessibility trip. It's been a long journey, but I thoroughly enjoyed the trip, and I thoroughly enjoyed today. Today was Facebook, and going in, I already was a huge fan of Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, who isn't, honestly? But this experience only amplified that even more. The thing that I thought was most interesting about Facebook was its campus culture. The way that they encourage inspiration and the community that they've built it's very inspiring. And specifically the infrastructure. It almost feels like its own little civilization of like creators and artists and computer scientists. It was really cool. And that's something that stands out to me, because creating is one thing, but I think you have to enjoy the experience as well to its maximum capability. And I think that Facebook is definitely creating things that are very interesting to me, and also they're one of the leaders in accessibility. So I thought that their campus was very impressive. In terms of what I learned today, it was great to be able to see the different presentations that were put on by the fellow students in this trip, because honestly, the open-endedness, to me, it was very challenging, but it was awesome to see that so many different great ideas were able to come about through the process. And I truly feel that way. I don't think that anyone presented anything that wasn't truly useful and that wasn't with accessibility put at the level of greatest importance. So in terms of learning more, I would like to see what Facebook continues to do in the realm of accessibility. As you can see by my shirt, I love memes, so I would love to see what they do in terms of making memes accessible. And I thought that was awesome that Jeff was mentioning it. So we'll see what they do, we'll see what I do, and we'll see what the rest of Teach Access does. It's been a great trip. I've enjoyed every single moment of it, and I hope to do it again or be an ambassador or whatever we decide to do with the program. So thank you guys so much for making this possible, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks, Kate and Phil.